perfect for this episode as I reach into the tree to grab my
Yes.
remote control.
The tree of knowledge.
Yeah,
Slash soap
this just holds
operas.
the remote for the TV, which is just on CB24, so whatever. Anyways, hello everyone. We're back with another episode of Paranormal, and we are your hosts. I am Rachel, and we have...
I'm Cass. And I'm solo tonight because we just figured we'd give the boys a break. Chester and Harold
It's family
got
day.
a little chaotic. It is family day. They're spending time with their families. And it was just mayhem last time, so we've decided we'll just give them a bit of a break. They can have their own scheduled time where they conversate together, and we'll see how that goes. But for today, we'd like to actually get through an episode without it just being...
And then maybe because it's still technically Valentine's Day weekend and Family Day weekend, maybe at the end of this episode, I'll do a little like proposition that maybe people might want to get on board with. And then, yeah, we'll go from there and see how that works. If I remember to do it. So if not, you just message in the comments or send us an email saying you forgot to do the thing, but I'm hoping I remember.
Yeah, don't ask me to remind you.
Yeah, no. We are in complete, I don't know. It's Monday. It doesn't feel like Monday because we're off.
I know. It's going to be a weird week.
Yeah, and even weirder is I have a vacation day tomorrow too, so I'm still off.
You're so lucky.
I had to. Anyways.
Oh, wow.
I was told I had to take time off. But yeah, not much going on for us in the paranormal department.
I don't think so.
We're in the midst of still planning a whole bunch of investigations and going back to some of our favorite spots. And actually, you know what? We do have a new investigation planned for like deep southwestern Ontario, which is going to take place in May. Who's talking?
I have no idea. I heard that
just
too.
hearing myself on your end. I don't know.
But I have my earplugs in, so I don't know. Not earplugs, earbuds. So I don't know. Earbuds. What am I even saying? I fully heard whoever that was.
I don't even think we need Chester and Harold to have chaos, but
I think they're still going at it. I heard that too.
If he just falls off the shelf behind my door, well, then we know.
So I had to go down to get my light and stuff, and it's in the same room as Chester. And I'm like, don't worry, Chester, you have the night off. And I looked at him, and he's got like dirt on his face. And I'm like, how do you have dirt on your face when nothing happens? Like, you're in the spare room, so nothing's in there. I'm trying to think, like, I didn't drop him when I put him back in there. And then his hands are dirty. And I'm like, you know what?
Was he the one outside whistling?
I'm like, I don't want to know, dude. You do you.
Now we know where Harold's wife went.
Well, I don't want to start no stuff. Chester looks very happy with his wife and the twins.
I know. They're
cute.
We should ask him what his twins' names are. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gladys and Mildred.
Imagine. Oh my gosh. Oh, the girls.
The girls.
What was that? Oh, maybe that was you making a strange sound. Yeah, I don't know. The girls are going to be annoyed because they can't talk as well. And other spirits who are lingering, who are like, perfect, tonight's the night I can say my name. And they're like, nope.
Not
should have done it last time.
But no, like, so we have an investigation plan for deep southwestern Ontario. And then tomorrow, so when this airs, it'll be last week. I do have a meeting with some museums for way north. And then we have another plan to go way east.
Yeah.
Right? And then a bunch of stuff in between, obviously. But that stuff is still in the works. And yeah, lots of fun stuff, actually. Right? We're
lots of new places that we're venturing out to.
Yes.
Mostly because some of the local places, unfortunately, have jumped on the make everything really expensive for the poor paranormal people, which for whatever reason they feel like that needs to happen. But it's unfortunate because then that really, it limits people like us who are legitimately going to do a proper investigation, but it also limits them getting public interest in
Mhm.
some cases. Some places don't want it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But those that are maybe dwindling because we are no longer in an era where people want to go to old historic buildings or museums or galleries or whatever it is. And so they're maybe losing out, and maybe that's why they're trying to charge all this money because they're like, oh,
Mhm.
let's make a buck.
Mhm.
But the opposite is going to happen.
And we don't mind. Like, we totally understand. Like, some of these places, giving a payment of some sort is a requirement. Like, we don't mind doing that to a point, right, where it's affordable for everyone.
Right.
Because we are nonprofit, right?
Mhm.
It comes out of our own pocket or our slush fund that we've kind of put together over the years. And when some places are asking for thousands upon thousands of dollars for us to come, it's really hard, right? And it kind of deflates,
Yeah.
us wanting to do it, right?
Hmm.
But we keep asking, and it is what it is. And then some places are like, oh, we really like what you do, but we're not set up for your type of production. Well, I'm not producing anything, but hey,
My
listen,
camera
nobody
and
wants to
external
produce.
flash.
Yeah, but no, I just no, I'm not a producer. I'm not a production company. I don't half-time edit half of this stuff because why not? This is real. This is as real as you get, and that's what everybody likes to see,
Exactly.
right? So, but that's
Well,
pretty much it.
I think that the places we're meant to go to are the ones we end up going to.
Yeah, and
Sometimes
they're
just
usually
you, me, and Jay. And that's when the
sometimes
magic happens. Ghost wise, I should say.
yeah, just make, oh
Just
my
to
god,
clarify.
not that kind of magic.
No.
Oh my lord, that would be terrifying. And that's like, yeah, no, but it's like,
Scarier than the ghosts.
yeah, stuff happens when there's just the three of us, and I'm actually kind of wondering what would happen if it's just the two of us.
Well, we might test that theory very
I
soon.
know. We should put a poll out to see where people want us to go, but I think I know where we should be going.
Yeah, forget what the people want. We're going where we want.
We have business
Yeah,
that needs to be finished. We'll just come back with more business that needs to be finished, but
exactly. But at least some of the old business might get something.
we can try.
Exactly.
And then we'll just start new business. But anyways, new business. Today's episode's all about creepy little things. Where did I go? Why do I disappear? Anyway.
You didn't disappear in my end, you just froze. And then it was just a black silhouette of you, and then you were back.
Oh, my whole thing was just my logo, the Paranormal Seekers.
Oh. We're off. Apparently it's not the boys that
No,
make
apparently
the chaos.
not.
It
Could be Jay. He's on the other computer on the internet, obviously.
Oh.
Playing whatever game. So who knows? He was last week too. But anyways. So yes, today's episode's all about the creepy little things that hide in the forest. And in the air and in the water and pretty much everywhere. And a lot of them are written about in fairy tales. Grimm Brothers wrote about some, and then like you've got like Disney really likes them. Literally, I thought your background was Disney background till I realized it's not.
No. So don't try to sue me, Disney.
No copyright infringement.
No.
But elementals is what we're talking about today. The fun little weird things of the world. And for those of you that don't know what an elemental is, so I have down here, an elemental is a supernatural being or spirit believed to be made of or deeply tied to one of the fundamental forces of nature. And instead of being human ghosts, because whatever, elementals are the landscape. So you've got fire, water, earth, wind, stone, and spirit, because there is a fifth element. So yeah. But so what makes elementals different than ghosts? Well, ghosts equal human spirits. Elementals equal non-human nature-born beings. So they are not former people. They are manifestations of natural energy.
Nice.
So depending on folklore and personal encounters, they may appear as shadows, lights, shapes, or figures, mimic animals or humanoid forms, be territorial or reactive to human behavior, and they feel ancient, intelligent, and emotionally neutral rather than good or evil. Boom.
Excellent.
The more you know. No. So where do they come from? Well, they show up across cultures. So you've got a lot of Celtic and Norse folklore, indigenous traditions worldwide. I'm going to say this wrong because my brain is just messed up, but alchemical, like alchemy, and esoteric teachings, and modern paranormal and spiritual encounters. Many investigators believe elementals predate humanity, and they see us as temporary visitors.
Whoa.
So, from a paranormal angle, people report elemental encounters as sudden temperature changes, feeling watched in the forests or near water, lights, movements, or shapes with no human identity, and strong emotional or instinctive reactions in certain locations. So, for example, if you haven't figured out quite what an elemental is other than a nature spirit or being, well, you've got things like fairies, trolls, gnomes.
Mermaids.
Right.
What just happened? I
Meaning
just went
everyone.
like bizarre.
It's just
Great.
it's great. It's another messed up night. Whatever. I wouldn't expect anything else from us. Maybe we are the most haunted paranormal podcast in Canada
I
because
think
two
that's
girls,
what it
one
is.
ghost. Two girls, one ghost gets that one for the States. We get it for up here.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But yes, so like leprechauns, all that kind of stuff would be considered elementals. And everybody knows that if you don't go to the forest and piss off the fairies.
No.
But anyways, would you like to start on yours?
I will start tonight. We're talking about these guys.
And it's so funny, before you begin, yes, for those people who were in brownies, you will notice that a lot of these elemental names are actually brownie, like little group names that you had in your brownie squad.
Trolls. I'm about to talk about trolls.
Well, they didn't have trolls,
I
but they
don't
had, like,
remember
gnomes.
trolls in Brownie.
They had gnomes, they had leprechauns, they had kelpie, they had fairies.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I should pull out my books because I have them from when I was like,
I
don't know,
have.
6.
Ooh, I should pull out my English ones and we can see if they're different or if it's the same across the board.
Yeah, we should.
I have them somewhere. Anyways, before roads cut through mountains, before forests were mapped and named, before humans believed the land belonged to them, there were things already living there. Tonight, we're talking about trolls. Ancient earth elementals born from stone, shadow, and wilderness. Not storybook brutes, but territorial beings that once defined where humans could and could not go. Questions already? Is that what you were going to ask?
No.
Oh,
I was
okay.
literally going to say, you know what I need to do? I need to put the Unsolved Mysteries theme song over your introduction.
I need a trench coat though, and to stand in an alley with like the light in the background and be like, tonight we're talking about.
Listen, I can make you can make that background.
Next time. Done.
Oh my god, when we talk about poltergeist next week. Oh.
All right. Trolls are earth elementals, being bound to the physical landscape itself. They are not animals, they are not giants, they are simply not monsters. In folklore, trolls are extensions of mountains, forests, caves, valleys, isolated places untouched by people. Where mermaids are the sea and sprites are the breath of the forest, trolls are the bones of the land. They exist to guard, resist, and endure. Trolls originated in pre-Christian Scandinavia with roots reaching back to the Viking Age and earlier. Early Norse Early Norse texts used the word troll loosely, referring to supernatural beings, dangerous magic users, entities opposed to order. And then over time, trolls became more defined in folklore as large, physical, earthbound, deeply hostile to intrusions. As Christianity spread, trolls were pushed to the margins of stories, recast as enemies of churches, their bells, and of any sacred land. But before that, they weren't evil, they were indigenous. Not by any means saying indigenous people are trolls. Just to clarify that before we're about to get canceled. Huh. Trolls are intensely geographical beings. They don't wander, they don't migrate, they stay put. Common habitats include mountains and cliffs, deep forests, underground halls, caves, beneath bridges and
I was gonna
crossings.
say.
We have to have that in there. Many Scandinavian rock formations are still believed to be trolls that were turned to stone, caught by the sunrise after staying out too long. In folklore, trolls don't just live on the land, they are the land itself. Trolls vary widely in appearance. They may be humanoid or barely recognizable, massive or human size, single headed or many headed. I didn't know that. Covered in stone, moss, or earth, some resemble twisted humans, others resemble walking boulders. But one trait appears again and again. Sunlight turns trolls to stone. This is not a weakness, it's a transformation. It ties trolls permanently to the earth that they inhabit. Despite modern portrayals, trolls are not stupid. Traditional trolls are clever negotiators, skilled in magic, masters of illusion, deeply cunning. They possess immense physical strength, control over stone and terrain, the ability to cause landslides, collapses, or blocked paths. Trolls don't hunt humans, but they will challenge them. One of the most famous troll legends comes from Norway, the three billy goats gruff. A troll lives underneath a bridge, a threshold between safety and danger. Anyone who crosses must pay a toll. The story isn't about strength, it's about outwitting the land itself. Other legends describe trolls stealing livestock, kidnapping travelers, attacking builders who encroach too far. In many stories, trolls are defeated not by force, but by cleverness, timing, and sunlight. Trolls are not evil, they're just territorial. They punish trespassing, noise, greed, and disrespect. They reward caution, cleverness, and boundaries, knowing when to turn back. In other folklore, trolls often attack those who refuse to listen to warnings. They are not villains, they are the consequences. Troll sightings faded as forests were cleared, mountains were mined, roads replaced footpaths. By the modern era, trolls survive mostly as folklore and children's tales, place names, but in Scandinavia, many locals still treat certain landscapes carefully, quietly acknowledging something older beneath the stone. Some believe trolls didn't disappear, they simply went dormant. Trolls remind us that land remembers being wild, that not every place wants to be settled, that not every path wants to be crossed. Some spirits don't whisper, they stand still and wait. I thought I had, there's actually, I thought I had this
Anytime
written down, but there's
anytime
a,
I hear the word troll, I think back to like our youth where we had like the treasure trolls that came naked with the little thing on the tummy. You know
oh
what?
my God, with the hair,
Yes,
and then they
I
started having clothes. Oh my
yes, I have a stuffed animal troll. Well, the body stuffed, the head's hard as a
God.
fucking rock. With the hair, and I might be downstairs with my box downstairs, like my doll box.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's down there. But yes, treasure trolls.
We had so many of them. And then my sister got the birthday one, which was a bigger size than the regular ones. I was like, bitch, because she had the bigger one. And then they came out with like bigger ones, but they were so expensive. Only the rich kid had those. I used to have the knockoff dollar store ones that you could get that just looked all messed up,
You know, it's
even though
funny.
it's a
So I
troll.
had, so it's really, Ethan has it now. It's actually sitting in his room. I could probably go get it. But remember way back in the day when it was like so cool to have pencil toppers where you like stick
Yeah.
it. I have a troll and he's got orange hair and Ethan still has it in his
Yes.
room. Yeah.
I had a bunch of those, and then the ones that were a little bit bigger and just stood alone, and then slightly big ones, and then my sister's one. Oh, we probably have those somewhere. And they have like, so eventually they started coming with clothes on, but
Yep.
they still had the cutest little bums.
Yeah.
Their bums were like perky. Anyways,
His little
what are we?
peaches.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess it's my turn now. Now all I can think about is treasure trolls. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm gonna do the Kelpie. So it's the deadly water elemental. So there are some legends that feel like fairy tales, and there are legends that feel like warnings. And the Kelpie is definitely a warning. So the Kelpie comes from Scottish folklore and is known as a water elemental. So supernatural being tied to rivers, lochs, and deep bodies of water. It isn't a ghost and it isn't human. It is the water. So most stories describe the Kelpie as a beautiful black horse standing calmly at the edge of a river or lake. Its coat looks wet, almost glossy, and it appears unusually gentle, inviting, and that's exactly the point. Stranger danger.
Ooh.
So according to legend, and this is where I wonder whoever thought it was a good idea, just be like, "Ooh, look, a random horse. Let's go ride it." According to legend, if someone climbs onto the Kelpie's back, their hands become magically stuck. The Kelpie then charges into the water, dragging its rider beneath the surface. In many stories, the victim never returns. In others, pieces of clothing, or worse, are later found near the shoreline.
Yikes.
So, what makes the Kelpie especially unsettling is its intelligence. It isn't a mindless creature, it waits, it watches, it understands curiosity, and then it uses it against people.
Oh my gosh.
So the Kelpie is also said to be a shapeshifter. Some accounts describe it appearing as a human, often attractive, but with something slightly wrong. So tangled water plants in the hair, a shadow that moves unnaturally, feet that never quite touch the ground, enough to make you. Was that you?
What? Was what me?
I heard somebody go, "Stop."
No. Maybe it's Jay. Is it Jay?
No, no, he's like right there.
Nope.
That tab 720. So a shadow that moves unnaturally, feet that never quite touch the ground, enough to make your instincts whisper something isn't right. So as an elemental, the Kelpie is considered evil in the way we think of demons or malevolent spirits. It's ancient, territorial. It doesn't follow human morality. It exists to survive, and humans are simply part of the environment it hunts within.
Damn.
So many researchers believe Kelpie legends may have originated as warnings, stories meant to keep people, especially children, away from dangerous waters. But others argue that folklore often forms around real encounters, not instead of them. So even today, people report strange experiences near lakes and rivers tied to Kelpie lore. Feelings of being watched, sudden silence in nature, a powerful urge to step closer to the water, even when it feels unsafe. So if you ever find yourself near near a quiet body of water and something feels off, trust that feeling, because not everything near the water is meant to be approached, and some legends are remembered for a reason. Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Yikes.
Don't trust pretty horses near water.
No. You know what I saw?
Ride random horses that you find.
Who's doing that, anyways? Who is doing that?
Whose bright idea, like I said, was to be like, look, a random horse near a lake. I shall jump on its back and ride into the sun. Like, who does that?
No.
First, I'd be
Not
like,
a
why is there a horse? Secondly,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not riding it without a bridle. Like that's freedom. Like you just gonna go wherever it takes you at that point. Better
Well,
fly.
and if it's like already out and wild, you probably don't want to mess with it
Yeah.
because it's one
And
of those rebel horses.
how tall is it? Like for me, I'm not just gonna be able to be like, hang on, I'm jumping on up, unless it's a fucking Shetland pony.
Oh, my younger days, I could totally do that. Now, I I have to get on using a block, and then, as history dictates, we get back to the barn, and I'm like, "Children, help me off! I can't get
See,
off the
that's the thing.
horse
You're
because my
probably getting
knee's
on.
seized."
You're probably getting on with a saddle. This is bareback, and man, like you just
Exactly.
can jump off from the ground.
No.
Like I said, the only way that's happening is if it's a Shetland pony, and at that point, it's going between my legs. It's just going. It's not stopping. Just sit on it.
Well, if you've jumped on a random horse, tell us in the comments. Well, I take us to the water now. And long before radar, before GPS, before humans believed the oceans could be measured and mastered, the sea was something else entirely. It was alive. It listened, and sometimes it answered back. We're talking about mermaids. But not the fairy tale kind. The ancient beings that cultures around the world feared, respected, and warned each other about. Because mermaids were never meant to be cute, they were meant to be elemental.
It's no Ariel. Listen, they are
Oh my
vicious.
god.
They're like
Yeah,
they're vicious.
as I will tell you now. Mermaids are best understood as water elementals, beings bound to oceans, rivers, lakes, and coastlines. In folklore, they are not animals, not humans, not gods. They are extensions of the water itself. They appear wherever humans travel by water, fish for survival, or cross dangerous seas. And while their appearance changes from culture to culture, their role stays remarkably consistent. Mermaids are watchers, gatekeepers, and sometimes warnings. They do not exist to help humans, but they will respond to how humans treat the water. The earliest mermaid like figure appears around 3000 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia.
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 That's
A,
really sad.
god-
I knew the word before you even tried to pronounce it.
a goddess named Atagatis was associated. Why can't they just be like Bob, Sarah, like Artagastis?
Just say Agnes.
Was associated with fertility, water, and transformation. She was often depicted as half woman, half fish, a form that would echo through human history. From there, mermaid imagery spread along trade routes. In ancient Greece, mermaids became entangled with the myth of the sirens, creatures who lured sailors to their deaths with song. Early sirens had bird bodies, but over time, their imagery shifted into the familiar fish tailed form. By the medieval period, mermaids were everywhere, carved into churches, drawn on maps, recorded in sailors' logs. To the church, they were symbols of temptation. To sailors, they were signs of danger, or worse, prophecy. One of the most unsettling things about mermaid folklore is how global it is. They appear in Northern Europe as Meros and Hafru, West Africa as Mamiwata, Japan as the ominous Ninganyo. Thank you. China as merfolk. Perfect.
I just
We perils.
went the
Didn't
easy
even
way out on that one.
exactly. Okay. Indigenous traditions across the Americas as water guardians and shapeshifters. These stories develop independently, yet share the same theme. Mermaids appear near important water sources. They protect them and they punish those who exploit them. Traditional mermaids were described as humanoid from the waist up, aquatic below, pale, shimmering, or scaled, with long hair often compared to flowing currents. but their abilities mattered more than their appearance. Mermaids were believed to sing or speak in hypnotic voices, control storms and tides, cause cause or prevent shipwrecks, lure humans into water, shapeshift, or walk on land briefly. They are usually immortal or close enough that time does not matter to them. And most importantly, they are not emotional beings in the human sense. Mermaids don't fall in love easily, they don't forgive often, and they don't explain themselves. In 1493, Christopher Columbus reported seeing mermaids near the Caribbean. He famously wrote that they were not as beautiful as they are said to be. Bitch. Modern explanations point to manatees.
Damn.
Imagine he saw a manatee and he's like, this bitch ain't pretty at all. It's just some manatee with some kelp on it. What a douche. So modern explanations point to manatees, but sailors consistently claimed something was just off. The movement, the posture, the way they were watched. In Japan, sightings of the Ninganyo were treated as disasters. Catching one was believed to bring storms, earthquakes, or disease. Eating its flesh was said to grant immortality, but at immense personal cost. In West Africa, encounters with the Mamiwata continue into modern times. She appears to travelers or fishermen, offering wealth, healing, or success, but only if strict rules are obeyed. Break those rules, and the water takes everything back. Mermaids are neither good nor evil. They're elementals, so they bring about balance. They punish pollution, greed, disrespect, and arrogance, where they reward offering, silence, restraint, harmony with water. In folklore, mermaids don't judge morality, they force consequences. Mermaid sightings declined sharply in the 19th century as oceans became mapped, industrialized, and controlled. By the 20th century, reports were diminished as animals' hallucinations or hoaxes. But in many traditions, mermaids didn't disappear, they simply withdrew. Some cultures believe that as humans stopped fearing the ocean stopped speaking back. Mermaids were never meant to live in stories for children. They were warnings that water remembers, that nature responds, and that some forces don't need us to believe in them to exist. Now, there was recently, I want to say within the past year, some Instagram post of some guy on like one of those, I don't know, crab fishing things way out in the ocean. And he supposedly had recorded these mermaids entities. It was like a big thing.
Well, you know what?
I don't know.
At least they went to the fish park, because I'm sorry, but a bird with a lady's head does not. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Like, how is that
With a
alluring?
mermaid,
You'd
you'd
be
be like,
like,
whoa, cool. Or I'd be like, look, a manatee in a bikini. Like,
the manatee one gets you every time.
he's just
These
found some
ugly
random
mermaids out
bikini
here.
top. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no Disney. No Disney. Even though
No.
the real story of the Little Mermaid from the Grimm brothers is friggin' awful, but let's just say
I
she
think,
dies in the end.
yeah, I think all of the ones from the Grimm
Yeah.
are,
They
are
know
pretty grim.
there's no happily ever after.
No.
Anyways, all right, the next one, mine. All right. So when people think of nature spirits, they often imagine something gentle or harmless, but nymphs are far more complex than that. They aren't just beautiful figures from mythology, they are elemental beings deeply tied to the natural world itself. So a nymph is believed to be a nature elemental, so a spirit bound to a specific place rather than roaming freely. So forests, rivers, springs, mountains, and even trees were all thought to have their own nymphs. So there was like a forest nymph, like a river nymph, all that kind of stuff. Their existence was inseparable from the land they protected. If the place thrived, so did the nymph. If it was damaged or destroyed, the nymph faded or became something far more dangerous. Unlike ghosts, nymphs were never human. They are ancient forces of nature, often described as appearing human-like, beautiful, and calm. But the appearance can be misleading. Nymphs don't exist to comfort people, they exist to preserve balance. So many legends describe nymphs as neutral beings. They could be kind, protective, or even nurturing, but only if humans showed respect. When boundaries were crossed, nymphs were said to become hostile, luring people deep into the forest or towards water and causing them to become lost, disoriented, or overwhelmed. Now you wonder why people get lost in the bush all the time. Accounts suggest that nymph encounters feel subtle rather than dramatic, a sudden sense of being watched, time seeming to slow, sounds become muffled, or an intense emotional reaction to a place, either peaceful or deeply unsettling with no obvious cause. As elementals, nymphs are thought to communicate less through words and more through feeling, intuition, emotion, environment. People who report encounters often describe a strong pull towards a location, followed by a clear sense of you should not stay there or here, whatever. In paranormal research, nymph-like entities are sometimes connected to reports of shadow movements in forests, unexplained light anomalies near water, or locations that feel intensely alive, almost aware of being observed. And I can tell you, we've been to a few places like that. So whether nymphs are mythological explanations for nature's dangers or something far older than we understand, the stories all carry the same message. Nature is not passive. It watches, it reacts, and it remembers how it's treated. So if you ever feel unusually drawn to a forest, a spring, or a quiet stretch of land, pay attention to how it makes you feel, because not every presence leaves footprints, and not every guardian wants to be seen. But so a lot of times people will also confuse nymphs with fairies.
Mm-hmm.
They are two totally different things. And yeah.
Sorry,
like
I'm just munching on my Tootsie Roll.
that sounded so wrong. But anyway.
I just found it and went, a Tootsie Roll? What the fuck?
How old is it? Oh
I don't know, but it tastes fine because it's a Tootsie Roll. So this could have been from the time when sprites were around, which is what I'm about to talk about now. Some spirits roar, some spirits drown ships, and some barely make a sound at all. They flicker at the edge of vision. Oh my God, this is what I was talking about before. Oh, we got to circle back to this. They flicker at the edge of vision. They vanish the moment you look directly at them. And yet, cultures across the world insist they've always been there. We are, of course, talking about sprites, the smallest, quietest, and perhaps most misunderstood of the elementals. Sprites are nature elementals, most commonly associated with air, light, and plants. Transitional spaces in nature. They are not ghosts. They are not fairies in the modern sense. They are not imaginary in the way folklore suggests often. Sprites are manifestations of living environments, the awareness of forests, fields, streams, and wind given form. They exist between things, between branches, between footsteps, between breaths. If trolls are the bones of the earth, sprites are its nervous system. The word sprite comes from the Latin spritus, meaning breath or vital force. References to sprite-like beings appear as early as ancient Roman nature sprites, Greek nymph traditions, Celtic and Germanic folklore. By the Middle Ages, sprites had become a catch-all term for small, evasive nature entities, especially those connected to air, leaves, flowers, and sunlight. Unlike trolls or giants, sprites were never myth-scale beings. They were always local, always subtle, always fleeting. Sprites appear anywhere nature is alive but undisturbed. Common locations include forest clearings, meadows, gardens, hedgerows, riverbanks, old paths no longer used. In folklore, sprites are rarely found in cities. When they are, it's considered a bad omen. They are strongest in places where nature grows freely, human noise is minimal, time feels slower. Sprites don't guard territories like trolls, they inhabit states of balance. Sprites are almost never described the same way twice. They may appear as small humanoid figures, glimmers of light, floating sparks, moving shadows, flickers in the corner of the eye. Some accounts describe wings, others insist they float without them. What remains consistent is this: sprites do not like prolonged attention. If noticed, they vanish, they hide, or they mislead. Sprites are curious but not friendly, playful but not harmless. Sprites are not physically powerful, but they are environmentally influential. They are said to redirect wind, encourage plant growth, cause sudden stillness or motion, lead travelers off paths, protect fragile ecosystems. Some traditions believe sprites influence inspiration, creativity, sudden emotional shifts, unexplainable calm or unease in nature. They don't act directly, they simply nudge. In European folklore, sprites are often blamed for getting lost in familiar woods, hearing laughter with no source, objects subtly moving outdoors, time feeling wrong when you're in nature. In Celtic traditions, acknowledging sprites aloud is discouraged. Speaking of them too directly was believed to attract mischief. Some legends claim sprites dislike iron, loud bells, aggressive clearing of the land, not because these things hurt them, but because they disrupt the balance. Sprites are neither malevolent or dangerous. They are responsive. They reward careful movement, respective living spaces, observation without interference. They punish carelessness, destruction, arrogance, and treating nature as scenery rather than presence. Sprite punishments are subtle: confusion, discomfort, minor accidents, persistent unease. Nothing dramatic, just enough to remind you that you don't fully belong there. Sprites never truly disappeared, but belief in them faded as landscape changed. As forests were cut, paths winded, and wilderness shrank, sprite encounters became just childhood stories, artistic metaphors, romanticized folklore. But modern hikers, gardeners, and nature workers still report being watched, sudden shifts in wind, a feeling of presence without form. Sprites may not appear anymore because they were never meant to be seen, only felt. Sprites remind us that nature does not need to be loud to be alive. Some sprites shout, some drown ships, some exist only in the moment before you realize you're not alone. Do 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 do. We got to do that after everyone.
Oh my god. Then you say Sprite, and I just think of the pop. Like,
As I'm reading that, oh, I had another piece of Tootsie Roll. As I'm reading that, I'm like,
pulling them out of the air now.
was that the thing I keep seeing in my house today? Was a
Maybe.
Sprite?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good.
I don't know.
But I can't mention them because that's not good. And I just talked about them.
Yeah. Yeah, you just set yourself up for failure.
Have a Tootsie Roll Sprite.
Yeah. Don't joke.
Have a Tootsie Roll. Please don't hurt me.
I already just lifted her head and looked this direction, was like, the fuck? And then she put it in her basket. Well, my next one is everybody knows what this is. Anyways, there's a whole city in the States named after this one. All right, so the Phoenix. It is one of the most well-known mythological beings in the world, but familiarity, because I just totally said that fucked up, doesn't make it simple. You can tell it's Monday night. We're all tired. Beneath the imagery of flames and rebirth is something far more ancient and symbolic. A fire elemental tied to destruction, transformation, and renewal. So, unlike many elementals that guard a specific location, the phoenix is connected to a cycle. So, it appears at the end of its life, already moving towards its death. When the time comes, the phoenix is said to ignite itself in fire, burning completely to ash, only to rise again reborn. What's unsettling about the phoenix isn't the fire; it's the oh my god, see, it's the inevitability. Don't spit out your water.
Oh God.
That creature, the creature. Oh my god, the creature. Harold, the creature doesn't fight the end; it embraces it. So, in elemental lore, fire is not just destructive; it's cleansing. It removes what no longer serves. The phoenix embodies this idea fully. It represents endings that are necessary even when they're painful. So transformation that cannot happen without loss. So some traditions describe the phoenix as radiant and awe-inspiring. Others portray it as solitary, appearing only during times of great change, the wars, collapses, or the end of an era. Its presence is less about intervention and more about witnessing the transition. So, in paranormal and spiritual accounts, the phoenix energy is often associated with intense emotional experiences. So, sudden shifts in life, loss followed by clarity, moments where everything familiar burns away, forcing something new to take shape. So, unlike predatory elementals, the phoenix is rarely described as hostile, but that doesn't make it safe. Fire doesn't ask permission before it spreads, and rebirth doesn't happen gently. So some researchers believe that the phoenix legend may symbolize humanity's attempt to understand cycles of destruction and renewal, both in nature and within ourselves. Others believe it represents a real elemental force appearing only when change is unavoidable. So if you ever find yourself standing at the edge of something ending and it feels like everything familiar is about to burn away, it may not be the end. It may be the beginning. Because fire doesn't just destroy. Sometimes it prepares the way for rebirth. I should find music to put in for that.
Please
But yeah,
do.
but a lot of people, if you haven't watched X-Men, just saying.
How long ago did X-Men come out?
You haven't seen Downtown Oshawa lately.
Don't go there.
It's gonna
Don't go
burn.
there.
We're gonna burn. Anyways.
Well, before tonight, before bottles, before wishes, before blue skin and jokes, there were beings made of fire. Not the kind that warms, but the kind that consumes. We're, of course, talking about genies, more accurately known as jinn, elemental entities older than humanity, invisible by nature, and never meant to serve. And if you are not thinking of Robin Williams' version of the genie, then unsubscribe and forget this channel entirely. That is the only genie. It's the only one.
Yeah.
Anyway, genies or jinn are fire elementals, being created from smokeless flame. They are not demons, they are not angels, they are not ghosts. In Islamic traditions and pre-Islamic Arabian belief, jinn are a parallel form of life, intelligent, sentient, free-willed. They exist alongside humanity, but are normally unseen, occupying a world that overlaps our own. If humans are made of earth and angels are made of light, jinn are made of fire. Belief in jinn predates Islam, originating in ancient Arabian folklore. Oh, sorry, I thought it was messed up. Thousands of years ago.
Okay,
Early
I've got
desert.
I've got Aladdin songs going through my head.
Oh, me too. Arabian night.
Wait, what's going through my head?
Early desert cultures believed jinn lived in sandstorms, occupied ruins and abandoned places, traveled with the wind, and influenced fate and madness. With the rise of Islam in the 7th century, jinn, yin,
Gin,
jinn,
gin, like the drink, gin.
jinn became fully defined, mentioned directly in the Quran, given moral agency, capable of belief, disbelief, good and evil. They were no longer vague spirits, they were a people. Genies are associated with liminal and extreme environments. Common locations include deserts, ruins, crossroads, abandoned buildings, wilderness far from human settlement. They are also tied to wind, fire, heat, and isolation. In folklore, jinn avoided crowded places and thrive where humans feel uneasy or exposed. If trolls guarded the land and sprites guarded balance, jinn guard the unseen edges of the world. In their natural form, jinn are invisible to humans. When they choose to appear, they may take the shape of humans, animals, especially dogs or snakes, shadows, smoke, and flickering light. Fire without heat. Their forms are unstable, constantly shifting, and unlike many elementals, jinn experience emotion. They feel pride, jealousy, anger, and curiosity, which makes them unpredictable. Genies possess immense power, but not limitless power. They are said to move at incredible speed, shapeshift freely, influence thoughts and emotions, travel between realms, and manipulate fire and wind. Wish granting does exist in folklore, but always with consequences. A genie doesn't grant wishes to help, they do it because they are bound, they are bargaining, or they're amused, and amusement is dangerous. In Middle Eastern folklore, binding a jinn was considered extremely risky. Magicians and sorcerers were said to trap jinn in rings, lamps, or seals, use sacred names to force obedience, but stories almost always end the same way. The jinn escapes, the summoner is ruined, and the wish backfires catastrophically. Jinn are famous for literal interpretations. Wish for wealth, lose everyone you love. Wish for power, lose control. Wish for immortality, outlive the world. Genies are neither good or evil. They are moral beings, but not human ones. Some jinn are benevolent, protective, devout, and others are hostile, deceptive, and cruel. Like humans, they choose, and like fire, their choices spread fast. The danger isn't that genies are evil, it's that they don't think like us. Public belief in genies declined in modernization, science, and urban expansion. But in many parts of the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia, jinn belief remains very real. Ruins are avoided, certain places are entered carefully, names are not spoken lightly. Unlike trolls or sprites, jinn were never seen less, they simply are acknowledged less. Genies remind us that not all power wants to be controlled and not all bargains are meant to be made. Some elementals protect, some punish, and some wait for you to ask the wrong questions. Where's Chester when you need him?
Jingling his bells elsewhere.
Getting a dirty face for some reason? I don't know.
Listen, what he does in his spare time, I don't
We
question.
don't ask. We don't ask.
All right. So for my last one, I'm gonna totally butcher this, and I apologize in advance. So the Nanab Ozo is not easy being to define or say, and that's intentional. So in Anishinaabe teachings, Nanab Ozo
Good
exists
job.
as a creator spirit, cultural hero, and trickster, all at once. So a being of contradiction, a teacher who uses stories, mistakes, and transformation to pass on wisdom. So unlike many entities we've talked about, Nanab Ozo is not something to be hunted or encountered casually. He is a spirit of balance, deeply tied to the land, the animals, and the people. His stories are not meant to frighten, but to teach. So the Nanab Ozo is often described as a shapeshifter, able to appear as a human, an animal, or something in between. He walks the world learning as much as he teaches, sometimes clever, sometimes foolish, and sometimes intentionally disruptive. His mistakes are just as important as his successes. So in many teachings, Nanab Ozo helps shape the world, naming animals, forming landscapes, surviving great floods, and restoring balance after chaos. But he is never portrayed as perfect. His flaws are part of the lesson. Through them, people are reminded to stay humble, observant, and respectful of the natural world. So from an elemental perspective, Nanabozo is often associated with sky and nature energy, existing beyond a single element. He moves through land, water, and sky, reminding humans that everything is connected and that imbalance has consequences. So what is important here is this. The Nanabozo is not a ghost, not a monster, and not something to sensationalize. He represents teachings passed down through generations, lessons about respect, resilience, humor, and responsibility. So some modern experiences people describe is feeling guided away from danger, learning through unexpected obstacles, or being humbled by nature, are sometimes interpreted through the lens of Nanabozo's influence, not fear, but as a correction. So the Nanab Ozo stories remind us that wisdom doesn't always arrive gently. Sometimes it comes through disruption, through embarrassment, and through learning the hard way. And sometimes the lesson isn't about power at all. It's about listening. Because the land speaks, the stories matter, and not every spirit is meant to scare us. Some are meant to teach us how to live better within the world we've been given.
Oh, the trolls think it's hilarious.
Oh, I'm so tired. Even I think it's hilarious.
Oh boy.
Those are our elementals. We could have talked about fairies and stuff, but those are so widespread known
Exactly.
and stuff like that. It's just kind of that'd be regurgitated information. Everybody knows who Tinkerbell is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The ones from Sleeping Beauty. For a second, I forgot. Because, Disney
I'm like,
has
what other
all
ones?
fairies.
I know. Their fairies are always whatever.
Yeah. And if you want a good representation of a mermaid, just watch Pirates of the Caribbean. Yet again, another Disney movie. But they have, is it the second one? The third one? I don't even know. They have a really good representation of mermaids, of a mermaid, I should say. Where they capture
Do they?
her. Yeah, they capture her and they're like taking her through like the bush and she's in like this giant like aquarium.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
With
I think
Johnny
it's the
Depp?
third one. Yes.
What?
I think it's the third one.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
Now I'm gonna have to watch that.
There's like this priest with them and he falls in love with her and she's like, I can't love you. And then she just takes him to the depths of the ocean.
I don't remember that at all. Now I'm gonna
Mhm.
watch it.
Yeah, it's there. I think it's the one with what's her name? She was pregnant in it the whole time. Penelope Cruz, whatever her name is.
Oh, that's like the fourth or fifth one then.
Sure, whatever one. I don't even know.
Okay.
But that one. Because they only show her from like the waist up for like the whole movie.
That's hilarious. Yeah, okay. That's one of the like other ones. And then they do a whole spin-off with her and bullshit. Stupid
whatever.
stuff.
I think I stopped watching
Exactly.
it. But yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I think
that's why. I don't think I've seen that. Whenever I see Penelope Cruz, all I can hear is "You're a hypocrite." Have you ever seen the movie Blow, which is an excellent movie? And she's very good in it, but she's like, "You stop being a hypocrite." Like, and she says it. That's all I envision her.
Oh my gosh. But yes, those are our elementals. So if you ever had an encounter with an elemental, share it. We'd love to hear about it. Whether it was something that we talked about today or a fairy, like a real fairy, a real, like, in the bush, like, elemental fairy. I know where people will go with that. So, because I went there, so I know where people are going to go with it. But yes, so like fairies, gnomes, trolls, stone people, weird things. I don't know.
Sprites,
Yeah.
7-Ups.
Dr. Peppers. Sponsors. No. Yes, sponsor. I'll probably drink it. No. But yeah, you can send us your stories. We'd love to hear them. Share them. You can post on our Facebook, on our Instagram, any of that. Comment on this. Comment on one of the posts that we're going to post this week, because we'll post about each one. And we'll show pretty pictures of what they look like.
The real ones.
Yes. Not the Disney version. Though I could if you really want.
Except for Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Genie, because that's the only one.
Yeah. Always. Because you'll never have a friend like us.
No. Exactly.
That's in my head all night too now. Or the Prince Ali song.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That's one of my favorite Disney movies.
And you know what? I don't really have a favorite Disney movie.
If I was going to watch one over and over, it would probably be Aladdin or Dumbo. Aladdin's not really sad. You know how most, I think
mine was like Fantasia, because it was just like a bunch of like horses and unicorns dancing around. Literally.
And broomsticks dancing around too.
Literally. Literally. I have Disney songs stuck in my head. Why do I have the song from Bambi stuck in my head right now?
What's the song from Bambi?
Oh, no. The little April showers one?
Nope.
Do, 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 do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great.
You're welcome. Now our Elementals episode has turned into the Disney episode. We should just do a whole episode on why Disneyland is haunted at this point.
We should do it at Disneyland if someone would fly.
Listen, I can still drive there. Listen, if they want to sponsor us, we will do a whole episode on, what is it, the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
Down there? Yeah.
Yep. It's Disney. Really good. I have been. It was a long time ago, but I have been, and I remember thinking, this is fucking awesome.
They're allowing weddings there now.
Of course. I'm sure it's completely changed. This was back when, so this is what, MGM Studios? This was when the Tower of Terror was there. Now it's some other bullshit, Gardens of the Galaxy or some other thing. Tower of Terror was absolutely amazing. It was like, so you go in, you guys can stop listening now. But anyways, you're all just carrying. So you go in, and it's all set up like a really old, early 1900s hotel. So it's like old, there's like an old bellhop guy who looks like he's been dead for centuries. And basically you get shuttled onto this, it looks like you're sitting in a mini movie theater, right? And you're in the elevator and you're being taken up to your next, or to your room. So you go up, and then the doors are a screen. So you're watching stuff and you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden the screen's, and then whatever. And then the doors open and you move around this whole hotel in the thing. Like you're actually, it's like a roller coaster. And then all of a sudden you're right at the edge. So now all of a sudden you're looking out over the park, and then it just fucking drops to the ground. It's great.
I would have loved that. I would have loved that.
It was so good. Like, and the Haunted Mansion, is really good too because you're sitting in a cart and you're supposed to just have two people because ghosts appear in between you. So you're coming along and your cart that you're in moves. So sometimes you're facing this way, sometimes you're facing in front. And whenever you're facing, everyone's turned and they're all facing, you're seeing like a massive dining room and there's all the ghosts, whatever. And then you go along and you're going past a wall and there's mirrors and you see yourself. And then in between you are like ghosts and the ghosts like interact with you. It's fucking amazing. It was so good. That was, I don't even know how many years ago. 3 children. So 20 something years ago. So, and now there's real ghosts there.
Yeah, because people keep dying.
I know. It's like this. It's a small world. People die in that all the time,
I don't understand.
and then they become the creepy children. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
more than
small
like
world.
save me. Oh my god, that would be creepy. That would be creepy.
Yes. Any of those animatronic things, like Chuck E. Cheese, where they have I don't actually know if I've been into Chuck E. Cheese, but where they have like the band, the
We're
old
talking about like
animatronic
old,
band.
maybe like old, like when we were like littler.
Well, again, I did not see this, but I was told about it and I've seen videos of it because in the States they still have old ones. And the
Yeah.
animatronic bears are like, and I'm like, why is this still here? Just put a curtain around it. You don't need, this is so traumatic.
They are. I don't know. Anything like that is traumatic.
Yes, I don't like it.
Yeah. We should do like a whole tour of that. But speaking
We
of
should.
tours, I just remembered what I was going to ask everybody. So,
oh yeah, see, that was my plan. You're
so if you
welcome.
guys didn't notice on Family Day, so today, but last week, when we posted our Happy Family Day little post, it was a picture of Harold and Chester and their families. And as you notice, Chester's got a wife and twins, and well, Harold appears to be a single dad.
Harold Solo.
So, we did a little backstory. Well, we let ChatGPT do a little backstory on Harold, and apparently his wife left him because she just couldn't stand him anymore. So now
He's
Harold,
a creepy little.
Harold needs a girlfriend. Everybody. So if you know of any antique stores that have some really interesting dolls, or if you have a doll you'd like to get rid of, let us know.
Yes.
That's
donate.
Antique. Not a porcelain
us.
doll. I don't think he wants a porcelain doll because they're a little too like high end, like, you know. Chester seems to be like kind of like this, like he likes to get rough and
I don't want to know any of this.
like that. Jesus Christ, you need to stop. I mean, like he's like a blue collar guy.
Yeah, we got it. He likes to slap his bitches around. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
All bros have a
He
beer.
lives in Oshawa, so whatever.
But yeah, so I think we need to find him a girlfriend. So if you have any leads, let us know. And yeah,
we're happy to take
do
them off
our
your
own
hands.
Yeah, but if you don't, but you know a really, really, really amazing like antique store, let us know because we totally are gonna go and we will totally film it.
Yeah. Or if, like you said, you have this creepy ass doll that you know is buried somewhere in your basement and you're like, I hate that thing. We'll take it.
Yeah. Donations accepted. And we will talk about it and you. So, yeah. So the hunt for a girlfriend for Harold is on. And if you have named her already, it's even better.
Exactly.
My brain doesn't want to name anything anymore. So yeah.
Or we let him name her. Gladys.
Oh,
Mildred.
Yeah. And Chester will be like, Gladys!
She's mine.
Oh, Lord. Chester, you have a wife. She is very pretty.
She was very pretty. And you have twins. And you were happy. Anyways.
Now he's dirty. But anyways, yes, next week's episode is all about poltergeist, which is going to be just fantastic.
Poltergeist.
But other than that, that's it. That's all for this week.
That's all she wrote, people.
Yeah. So have a great week. It's a short week. Or no, it's not a short week. This is a short week. When this airs, this is not a short week. But this will air. This will air the last week of But February. Jeez, we're almost in March.
Dang.
Hallelujah. Because then we got some fun stuff going on.
We sure do. I'm
We
excited.
got some trips planned.
Word.
That shall be fun. But yes, anyways, have a great week, everyone. And
Peace.
yeah, hopefully the snow is gone by the time this.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's not going to be. It's just dumping on this week. So when this airs, it'll be dumped on. I know. I'm full of great news.
Whatever.
Those damn elementals. They need to find one that stops the snow.
Oh, that would be nice.
I know. Anyways, have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.